Добре дошли в спортната джунгла с Оги Георгиев.
And I feel like I haven't found somebody yet that fits into the life. I have found them a distraction. So I suppose that's why I'm still single now. But yeah, I just find that I kind of, in my own mind, I know when I'm getting distracted, and I feel like I will drop a lot of things, even friends as well. You know, if my friends are bringing me into things that aren't benefiting, you know, my career, then I will drop them as well. I feel like that's just the kind of stage that I'm at the moment, that everything is just going into, you know, making my career better. And I've made a few mistakes along the way with boyfriends, but you know, I'm learning, and I think these are my most important years now coming up, so I can't be making them mistakes. And I suppose the love life is going to have to be on the back burner for a while, but I'm okay with that.
Дакота Дичева е една от най-горещите и нашумели ММА звезди в Европа. Непобедената красавица има български корени, а днес ще чуем нейната история. Спортната джунгла се присъединява към кампанията на Palms Bet за отговорна игра. Ако удоволствието от играта спре, време е да спреш и ти. Как една от водещите световни ММА организации може да дойде в България благодарение на Дакота Дичева? Ще чуем от самата блондинка, която има много сериозни планове това да се случи. Ако харесвате вкусна и здравословна храна, заповядайте в ресторантите на нашите приятели Arnold Foods. Адресите на техните обекти може да намерите долу в описанието. Защо любовният живот пречи на кариерата в бойните спортове и каква е причината Дакота Дичева да си няма гадже? Ще чуем от самата нея изключително интересни размишления по темата. Опитахте ли вече онлайн магазина на Born Winner? Оттам може да поръчате вашите любими барове, а те ще бъдат докарани директно до вашите домове. Ако това видео ви харесва, дайте едно лайкче, абонирайте се за YouTube канала Спортната джунгла и задължително натиснете камбанката, за да получавате известия за всеки нов клип. А в нашите нови местенца, шорт канала в YouTube, The Jungle of Inspiration, TikTok канала и нашият нов сайт Jungle.bg може да откривате още много нови и интересни неща, както и в нашите социални мрежи Facebook и Instagram. Очаквам долу в коментарите вашето мнение. Дали Дакота Дичева притежава уменията и огромното желание да стигне до елита, до UFC, а защо не и до титлата на най-популярната бойна организация. Ще се радвам да чуя вашето мнение. А сега приятно гледане! Дакота Дичева, welcome to the jungle of sports. It's been quite a journey to bring you to our channel, but finally you are here. And first of all, I know that you are a big fan of Manchester City. Are you preparing for the game tonight versus Real Madrid?
Yes, I will be watching tonight 100%. I will be at training, but I always have it on my phone while I'm training to make sure I don't miss it.
How you became such a big football fan?
My family have always been Manchester City fans since I was, you know, born. So we've got a big family of Blues, and yeah, right from, you know, all that time ago when they were losing, we've always been Blues, and now to see them succeeding is great for us.
Yeah, amazing season so far. You are doing something very interesting, very rare. When you are going to your fights, you are bringing a double flag, Bulgarian flag and English flag. How you came with that idea to have a double flag for your fights?
I mean, my dad is Bulgarian, so аз може да говорим малко български, обаче аз съм много срамова. So I just speak English for now until I'm confident enough to, you know, do an interview one day that's Bulgarian. But my dad is full Bulgarian, and you know, that's always something that I want to make sure all my fans know, you know, that I have dual nationality. I'm half English, half Bulgarian, so I'm proud of that.
But you are born in England, right?
Yeah, I was born in England, and my dad lives in the UK with us. He's always lived over here with us, so we go back all the time. I'm hopefully going to go back in a week's time to Bulgaria to see some family again, but yeah, we live over here.
Nice. How often are you coming back to Bulgaria?
We come in February to go skiing. We come in the summer for the sunshine, and then like if we can come over for a little weekend or anything in between, we always try and get over in the month and just see some family over there.
Do you have some favorite place, favorite city in Bulgaria?
I mean, my dad is from Samakov, so I love Samakov town. It's right near Borovets where the ski mountains are, so I kind of love it there. But I spend a lot of time in Dupnitsa because my auntie lives there too. So Sofia's nice, but I prefer the little towns. I always think that the little towns where my dad grew up is kind of what has the most character, so I prefer it in places like that.
Are you following some Bulgarian football or other Bulgarian fighters?
I don't follow much football. I mean, my dad knew Martin Petrov. He used to play for City, and Bozhinov was a friend of ours as well. So we watched them when they played for City, but they're no longer playing football now. So I don't follow too many footballers.
And some other Bulgarian fighters who are training around your region. You're based somewhere around Manchester, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'm in Manchester. There isn't any Bulgarian fighters, no. I haven't met any yet. But yeah, hopefully one day we'll see. I'll be able to train with a few, but for now I think they're just obviously I know Danny Liev, he's a Thai boxer, so he's fought in the UK a few times. I've been to watch him, so yeah, he's probably the one that I know the most.
And also Blago Ivanov, he was a champion of World Series of Fighting that later became PFL, so he started from the same organization just like you, so maybe one day you could meet him in UFC.
Wow, I didn't actually know that, so it's nice to know. Yeah, maybe one day we'll be able to meet. Yeah.
Your mother Lisa is a former world champion karate, Muay Thai, and kickboxing. Do you remember her fighting? I checked in Wikipedia, and it says that her last fight was when you were 3 years old.
Yeah, that was probably right, to be honest. I remember that we have photos. She fought after she'd had my older brother as well, and then I think her last fight was after she had me. Yeah, so that my mum she was tough, she was fighting for years, so for her to have 2 kids and then fight after that still was amazing.
And you started to train fight sports 1 year after she retired. Do you think that this is something special? I mean, she finished her career and you started yours.
Yeah, it is. I suppose she hasn't really had a break. Like, she was fighting and then straight away her kids were fighting. So, it's nice. It's all part of the story that we can tell one day. She'll maybe one day she'll get a little bit of a break and won't have fighting in her lives. But I'm sure when I have kids one day, it'll keep going.
Wow, yeah, it will be amazing.
Yeah.
3 generations of fighting machines in your family.
Yeah.
What do you remember from those early years? 4 years old girl, do you remember something from your first day when you went into the gym?
I think one of my earliest memories of fighting was we used to hold little shows at my mum's gym. So fighters used to come and we used to like fight people from different gyms. And me and my older brother fought on the same show, but he got injured as he fell and slipped in the ring. The person that he was fighting kneed and knocked his tooth out, and he had a massive fat lip. And I think that was one of my very first memories of fighting. So it was quite a scary one. I was a little bit surprised that I've ended up here and carried on going after a bit of a scary memory. But that was one of my earliest ones, which wasn't the best memory to have.
And you've got a fight on the same card, right? After your brother or before him?
I think I might have been before, yeah. Otherwise, I probably would have been a little bit scared.
There was an interesting moment in your early years when you stopped with fight sports and you tried some other stuff like gymnastics, some other things. What was the reason that you decided to stop?
I just wasn't interested in fighting. It wasn't something that I enjoyed. I've always been really competitive, so I did gymnastics and still competed in that, and football, I played football matches and stuff, so I was always competing in something, but fighting wasn't something that I was interested in at all. And I think my mum did the right thing. She left me to do whatever I wanted to do, and then I think that's why now I love it so much, because I wasn't forced to do it. I kind of come back to it myself and just absolutely loved it. I think I needed that little bit of time away to realize what I actually wanted to do.
And do you remember some moment when you said to yourself, okay, fight sports is going to be my thing in my life?
Yeah, I don't know whether I had that exact moment, but when I came back to fighting when I was like 13, I kind of got pushed up very quickly. So girls that had been fighting for a long time, I was fighting straight away, and I'm beating them. So I kind of knew that I was good at it, and I enjoyed competing. And I think that's what just kind of pushed me to keep going and make me realize in the end that I can actually make a career out of this.
Muay Thai is one of the most brutal sports. I mean, with the elbows, knees, such things. Why you decided to focus on that, first of all?
I think just with my mum fighting, it must just be in the blood. I think you either love it or you hate it. A lot of people I meet, they can either fight and deal with the nerves and deal with how scary it is, or they hate it and they just can't do anything like that. So I think with it being in my blood from my mum, I just absolutely loved it. And I think I'm a little bit of like in the ring, I'm very aggressive and stuff. So I think to channel that energy, I think it's the best sport for me.
And you showed something like that in 2019 when you came to Bulgaria to fight in MTGP Fight Night, and it was a very brutal fight. I think you broke the nose of your opponent with front kick, right? And with the knee before that.
Yeah, it was a brutal fight, but that's one of my happiest memories, to be able to come over to Bulgaria and fight for the first time. My family actually came down from Dutnitsa and Samakov to come and watch me, so it was really special. Hopefully now I'll be able to one day bring the PFL to Bulgaria and let a big crowd like that come and watch me. Yeah,
for sure there will be a lot of fans to watch you here in Bulgaria. And let's speak a bit about your transition to MMA. I read some of your interviews that you said that the reason was that you couldn't find Muay Thai fights around pandemic, so you decided to focus on MMA. Was that the main reason?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a mix. I didn't see as big a career in Thai boxing as I did MMA. I didn't feel like I could, make it to the very top and leave my mark when I'd finished. I wanted to make a big mark and push martial arts as a sport really high. So I felt like I could do that better in MMA. I was struggling for opponents in the UK as well. And yeah, MMA was something I always wanted to do, learn the groundwork and stuff. And I felt like the pandemic come in and me not able to carry on with the Thai boxing because my mum's gym shut, I was able to keep going with the martial arts, the MMA. So it kind of worked out perfect. I kind of just kept that momentum going.
And when you started to get serious with wrestling, with jiu-jitsu to improve your MMA game, was it earlier from the moment you started, or you just when you started your amateur MMA career, then you try to put a little bit more attention on those ground sports?
Yeah, no, so I went to a gym to try jiu-jitsu out and absolutely loved it. And then a few months later, I had my first amateur fight. So I wasn't any good at either one. I was kind of just learning, but I just got in there and just did it because I absolutely loved it. And, to me, it's just fighting, any type of fighting for me. I'll just always give it my best shot. And here I am now, 8-0 as a pro. So it worked out well.
And you are so active. Those 8 wins came just for, I think, 2 years. Did you expect your career to launch so fast?
No, I don't. I try to, slow it down at the beginning. I wanted to, when I moved over to MMA from Thai boxing, I wanted to kind of start fresh, slow everything down, learn new things. But everyone knew my name straight away after my first 1 or 2 fights. They were all like, "This is Dakota. She was, amazing at Thai boxing," and they kind of all followed me. So I got pushed up quite quick with that, I think, and kind of just took off. But, being active for me and, having quite a lot of fights is something that I like anyway. I like to stay in the ring and in the cage because I feel like that's when I fight my best, when I haven't, got ring rust or anything, as I would call it.
And you have an amazing start of PFL tournament and the hunt for $100,000. Great win against Hermanson, but what happens with your next opponent? Because the gurus that should fight on the same fight night. One of them, she failed the weight-in. So how will be decided your next opponent?
Yeah, so one of them missed weight. I think the girl that was meant to fight her that did make weight, she's going to fight in Berlin against somebody else, and then whoever wins out of them two will then fight in September. So I think once that girl has had her fight in June, we'll be able to see who's left in the category, and then they'll pick our next opponents. I think, I'm not 100%, but I think that's what I heard.
How tough was for you to get a PFL contract? You already have 3 fights there, but it's very tough to get into those leagues. What was the situation with you? How you were able to get into PFL?
Yeah, so I signed a contract with PFL on my first fight. So I kind of had plans that I was going to go into the European tournament anyway. So I kind of had already signed a little bit of a deal, but I think I was fighting on different promotions, you know, just doing one fight contract so that I wasn't tied in anywhere. And then my manager came with the idea of signing with PFL, and we had a little bit of a meeting, and I spoke with them, and I just felt like it was the right thing to do. So me signing with them has now led me here to this tournament, and you know, I'll be competing in the semi-finals in September.
Nice. I wish you to go all the way and to win the tournament. As I understand, there will be a bigger tournament next year, right, in your flyweight division.
I hope so, yeah. So after this $100,000 tournament, I'm hoping next year we're going to go into the main PFL league, and they're going to run a $1 million tournament for the flyweights. Fingers crossed. It's been talked about. It's not 100% yet, but that would be nice. But first, I would like to maybe do another $100 tournament for the PFL Europe and bring it to Bulgaria. That's in my plans a little bit first, but we'll see what happens.
Did you have some talks with the PFL management to stage such an event here in Bulgaria?
I haven't yet, because they've already decided my dates. So we're going to Paris for the semi-finals, and then we're back to Dublin for the next for the final. So they've already picked them ones already, but I'm hoping that next year we'll be able to have a little bit of an input of where to send it, and if I can get a big crowd to come, then I'm sure they'll put the show on.
Yeah, for sure. I think it will be 100% full sports show. We've got 12,500 Arena Sofia, so I think it will be amazing to see you there in the main event. Your last fight was a co-main event. How different was that from your other fights? How much more press you need to do, more attention from fans probably?
Yeah, it was a lot. I did get a lot more nervous for this fight. I think it was because, like you said, it was co-main event. I just felt like it was a little bit more important. But I think another thing, normally I just fight one fight, whereas this time I had in the back of my head that I need to fight to get through to the next round. And I think that put a little bit more pressure on me than I originally thought. So yeah, I'm sure this one I will feel as much more pressure because I need to get to the final. So I'm just gonna, you know, keep learning, keep taking it step by step, and just enjoying it, I think.
But you were so strong in that first round, and many people, many journalists were speaking about the finish, your first submission win. So it seems you are improving on that direction as well.
Yeah, I think it surprised a few people. I haven't really gone to the floor much in any of my other fights because I haven't needed to. You know, I've always done a lot of striking, but it was nice to be able to show a little bit of my groundwork and just, you know, make these girls aware that I do have a ground game as well. So if you take me down, they're going to struggle there too.
Yeah. And by the way, you are very tall for a flyweight fighter. I think 173. Is that the correct height of yours?
Yeah, 173, 174 I am, I think, yeah.
Wow, yeah. Because, for example, the top girls in UFC, Shevchenko and Grasso, they are, I think, 165 or something like that.
Yeah.
How tough is for you to keep the weight with such a big height?
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite a straight and slim build, so I don't walk around heavy at all. I don't have a massive weight cut. You know, it's quite easy for me to make that weight at the moment. But yeah, I mean, I think because I am really tall and slim, people kind of think I'm not that strong. And then when they get in the cage, they get a little bit of a shock. But yeah, I find the weight cut quite easy. I do it very, very well, to be honest. Yeah.
Tell me something about the trainings with some top female MMA fighters. Like in UK, you trained with Molly McCann. You've been in ATT training with Joanna Jędrzejczyk, with some other girls at Las Vegas at Syndicate, which is famous gym for female fighters. How you deal with them during the training sparrings?
Yeah, I've done really well. I mean, like being able to spar with girls and see what level I'm actually at is really good. Like obviously Molly, I had some brilliant rounds with her. We had a top sparring session. And obviously she's been in the UFC a long time now. She's, you know, moving up the rankings. So for me to be able to spar well with her was good to see what level I'm at. And then when I went over to America, there was a lot of, you know, girls in the UFC and in PFL as well. I trained with a few that are in PFL. So you know, to see that I'm holding my own with them girls and I'm still only learning at the bottom underneath them was really good for me to know that I'm working at the right stage.
What is the situation with the sparring partners, female sparring partners in United Kingdom? I know that there are a lot of very good boxers, professional female boxers, but with MMA fighters, what is the situation there?
Yeah, there's not a lot of girls at all, and it's really hard. Like the gym that I train at, Manchester Top Team, they only have I think one, maybe two other girls now. Another gym, Northwest Fight Academy, they only have two girls. It's really difficult, you know, to find the girls to train with, and a lot of us are at different weights. So it's difficult, but I've always really trained with guys anyway. I feel like I get a better spar out of the lads, if I'm honest. Obviously they are physically stronger, but I do seem to be able to have a better battle with the boys, I think. And because I've always trained with guys, you know, throughout my whole career, I'm kind of just used to that.
Your brother Cody is always around you. Probably he's your main sparring partner.
Yeah, he used to be, but he's a bit lazy now. He's not got much time because he's training me all the time. But yeah, we used to spar, and sometimes when he joins in, we do a few rounds together. It's nice to you know, hit each other hard with some gloves on instead of arguing in the house sometimes. But yeah, we get on really well apart from that.
And probably he's a gentleman, so he's trying to protect you a bit. But sometimes if you get angry, I saw your fights when you are angry, nothing good happens to your opponents.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, depends. If we've been arguing, we tend to stay away from each other. If we're friends, then we will spar and we'll be nice to each other.
Cool. Who is your favorite big name opponent that you would like to meet? Probably someone from UFC like Shevchenko, Grasso, some other girls like that. And how do you see your chances against them?
Shevchenko is like my favorite fighter, but I think one day I'd like to you know, she's just had the belt took off her, but I feel like she'll come back for that straight away, you know, and get that back. She's for me pound for pound top female out there. But one day maybe it would be a good matchup. We both come from Thai boxing, you know. She's unreal at judo and the groundwork and stuff. So I've got a little bit of catching up to do, but I think in the future that would be an amazing fight to see good styles like that come together.
I saw a picture of yours with Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Did she say something to you? Because she's also coming from Muay Thai and then became a MMA legend.
Yeah, I was so lucky to bump into her. Actually, we timed it really well because I was over doing my camp at ATT, and she came over for like a 2-week holiday, and she trains during her holidays there. So it was really nice to catch her in the gym and just, you know, see her training. Was crazy, really. I've always been a massive fan of her, so I didn't get to speak to her too much because we were on the mat training. But yeah, it was really good to be in an environment where you know, champs like that are around me.
I read an interview with you when you were 17 years old, and you said in that interview that you had a boyfriend during that time, but you dropped him because it distracts you from training and fighting. Is it really that situation when you've got a boyfriend, you don't put full attention on sports?
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak for all girls, but for me, nothing will ever come like before my fighting, you know, especially at the stage I'm at now. These are like my most important years where I need to put the work in to get to the level that I want to get to. And I feel like I haven't found somebody yet that fits into the life. I have found them a distraction. So I suppose that's why I'm still single now. But yeah, I just find that I kind of, in my own mind, I know when I'm getting distracted, and I feel like I will drop a lot of things, even friends as well. You know, if my friends are bringing me into things that aren't benefiting, you know, my career, then I will drop them as well. I feel like that's just the kind of stage that I'm at the moment, that everything is just going into, you know, making my career better. And I've made a few mistakes along the way with boyfriends, but you know, I'm learning, and I think these are my most important years now coming up, so I can't be making them mistakes. And I suppose the love life is going to have to be on the back burner for a while, but I'm okay with that.
You already described part of professional fighter's life, but how tough is just to focus on that? Because you sacrificing a lot, as you said, boyfriends, some other friends. How tough is for you to keep it, to keep that
it's
way?
Difficult. I mean, I don't have a lot of friends outside of the sport, just because they, you know, they struggle to understand. They have their own lives going on, you know. I kind of need to be surrounded by people with the same goals, because, you know, my friends that aren't involved in the sport are working on other things, and, you know, sometimes it just doesn't fit in, and it's difficult. Like, I find it a really lonely sport, you know. I find it, even though you're surrounded by so many people on the mat, I still feel so lonely sometimes. It's crazy, but I feel like it's not sacrifices if it's something that I absolutely love. You know, I will sacrifice a boyfriend or some friends if it's, you know, to train, because it's something that I absolutely love, and it's what's going to help me get to my goals in the future. And that's just how I have to keep seeing it. You know, I've got a lot of family around me, and, you know, I've got a lot of I get to experience a lot of amazing things that some people don't. So I just have to be grateful for that, I think.
There are a lot of young girls who are training martial arts, not only in Bulgaria, but around the world. What kind of advice would you give to them to follow their dreams, to follow the path that you are currently going?
I think I've said this before, but my main advice would be to just enjoy it. Like, you have to love what you're doing, and when you no longer love it and you know you're not enjoying it, then stop and find something else, because, you know, this is especially in martial arts, it's a really tough sport, and I found that at times when I've not enjoyed it, I've just kind of stopped and give myself a break and kind of reevaluated, you know, the stage that I'm at. But I feel like as long as you enjoy what you're doing, you know, you can do it forever. And I think that's the main thing. Keep switching training up, go new places, you know, meet new people, do different classes, just, you know, enjoy every single part of it. And I think that's my main advice.
And last one, any message from DAKOTA DIČEVA to the Bulgarian fight sport fans?
Yeah, of course. I just want to make sure that everyone's watching, and I'm trying really hard to bring a big show to Bulgaria for us to watch. But I will keep carrying our flag, and I hope you're all watching my next fight in September.
For sure, I'm sure that many people who are around Paris are going to support you in the hall, and all the other in front of the televisions. Thank you very much, Dakota. It was a real pleasure. Wish you good luck with everything, and let's see you going upper, and one day, why not, a UFC champion?
Thank you very much. Merci, Noggle.